Hello, Ravens fans, and welcome to another edition of the conference preview. I'm Aaron Schneider, the Sports Information Director, and joining us for our men's basketball season preview is head coach Owen Handy. How are you doing today?
Fine, thanks, Aaron. Pleasure to be here with you.
All right, so the Ravens they host Earlham in the opening round of the HCAC tournament tomorrow at the at the OC Lewis Gymnasium at 1 p.m. And first, before we get into that contest, first I want to talk about the regular season that we just had. We had our shortened season. We had a 7-5 record. If you wanted to go into what your takeaway was on the regular season this year.
Yeah, I'm generally really pleased. I mean, I thought we have one returning player who's played minutes in the past in college, who played the whole stretch of 12 games, one who played the final six, and then basically a bunch of newcomers or a couple veterans who have not played college minutes. So on balance, really pleased with with our record. I think more pleased probably with how we've played, to be honest. We've played 8 games that have been decided by 10 points or less, and we're 7-1 in those games. So when it's been close, we've figured out a way to win. And to me, that's a real positive with a young group.
Yeah, and being quite honest, despite having so many freshmen, if you didn't have a roster in front of you, it'd be hard to say that, hey, this is a bunch of freshmen out here. You only know that because you only know that with the roster, pretty much.
Agreed.
So looking at for tomorrow's matchup with Earlham, we have so we open there for the first round. They have Jameel Barnes, who has a average of 18, and then what is your takeaway for Earlham for what to expect out of them?
Well, we know Jamel's really good. You know, they're in a similar situation to us. Jamel Barnes and AJ White are both returning, but those are the only 2 players they have in their rotation who have played college minutes in the past, at least at Earlham. And they've been off. They played last weekend against Rose-Hulman, but prior to that, they were out 2 weekends in a row due to COVID issues. And I don't know if those were with Earlham or their opponent or what. So they've had a little bit of a choppy last month. So we're not completely certain what to expect. I mean, they certainly have not played poorly. And Jamel is a really good player and has been for 4 years in our league. So we certainly know what to expect from him. But being that it's our first game against most of the rest of their roster, we feel like we've got a good scout, but you never know that for sure until the ball goes up and you actually get to start applying it.
And here's another interesting dynamic that you only come across with this year, and this came up with the women's preview as well, where we haven't faced Earlham yet this year.
Exactly. Yeah. So a lot of question marks going into this one for sure.
Okay, and then what would you say needs to be done on your end to be successful for tomorrow?
Well, I think a couple things. We're going to have to consistently guard the ball screen well the whole game, and we've been up and down doing that this season. When we execute the way we're supposed to, we've done a pretty good job defending a ball screen. When we don't execute the way we're supposed to, we've done a pretty bad job defending the ball screen. And so much of that is not the guys guarding the screen itself, but whether or not the guys off the ball recognize the situation, communicate with each other, and then do what they need to do, and then obviously box out of it. You know, we've at times been caught ball watching. We've at times missed rotations to take away a role. We've at times done things right but not communicated. And all those obviously are hallmarks of guys who haven't played a lot together. But as the season goes on, we play together more and more. So the expectation that we get it right, goes up. So hopefully We're focused defensively, first in recognizing the ball screen situations away from the basketball, and communicating them. And if we do those two things, if we recognize and communicate, I think we'll execute pretty well. So that's the first one. And then offensively, our best offensive games have been when guys have really committed to doing something for somebody else. Sharp cuts to the rim, physical screens, making the extra pass, penetrating or posting to draw attention and then move it to an open teammate. So that's been a big offensive focus for us this week is continue to be unselfish, share the basketball, and make sure that we're getting great shots every possession. Our last time out against Hanover, I really thought we played well offensively in the second half. We got great shots and just didn't make enough of them. So if we can keep that momentum going forward, I'll be pretty pleased.
All right. Well, I think I've covered the questions I wanted to. Ravens fans, thank you for tuning into this interview. Be sure to follow along for any more interviews that we'll have. And of course, follow along with your Ravens as they take on Earlham tomorrow afternoon. Coach Andy, thank you for joining us and good luck tomorrow.
Thank you, Aaron.